Guess who? The one that be getting all the love, but some of that love be hate, no cap. Guess who? The one that really came from the bottom, from the ashes rose up like a fiend. That's true. Guess who? The same one that seen you as a friend, but it ended up as envy at the end. Again. Guess who? The one that never had to pretend. Guess who? The one they love and hate to see you win. Guess who? The one that be getting all the love, but some of that love be hate.
Hey, what's going on? It's your girl TampaMystic, and we are live on the industry's most wanted podcast. It's a busy, rainy day in the A, but listen, the rain doesn't stop our grind. We shine through anything. You dig? Yeah. I got a special guest checking in today, and I just shared with him. I'm gonna let him introduce himself, but I shared with him. He's the first person that I've interviewed with a cap and gown on, man. So I'm excited that you're here today. Introduce yourself.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy AyeJordan, King. We just checking in with Tampa. I appreciate you having me.
Man, it's all love. I appreciate you being here today. Most definitely, we got a lot to talk about. You know what I'm saying? You got your fly cap and gown on first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna get into all that. Where did you grow up at?
Well, I was born and I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
So it's crazy because obviously, with me being born there, I'm definitely from there, no doubt. Hold it down.
Facts.
But I also really represent Atlanta, like as far as just how I big them up and things of that nature, because I really changed when I got here.
Yeah.
I really elevated. I came here as a young adult.
Okay.
And it just really, I'm gonna be real. Like I've never even seen, like, it sounds crazy, but I didn't see as many older black males in North Carolina
until you got here.
Yeah, until I got here. So that alone just elevated my mentality and perspective, and it's just so crazy. But also as well, it's like North Carolina, we're not too far from Atlanta, so it's like this weird spillover there.
Yeah.
And yeah, we are who we are as well. But the thing about it is, it's like, in that place, it feels like it's just us. But then when you get here, it's like, wow, there's like a lot more people that act just like us. Like, we're not really like this little unique bubble over here. Not that, we don't have our own kind of sauce, but just saying that, it changed me as a young adult. So with that being said, it just, I definitely claim it to 704-404.
No, absolutely. I've been coming to Atlanta since the 90s. I'm an OG, y'all. And when I was coming out here back then, I knew I was going to live here one day. Mind you, that's back in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking like, 20-something years ago. You know what I'm saying? And I fell in love with the culture. I was like, it's such a beautiful city. I love the culture. I love the unity here. You see a lot of that. And you see a lot of successful people. Like you said, not only do you, like you said, you've seen a lot more black men here, but you probably see a lot more successful black men here, because this city is full of opportunity, especially... no matter what you're doing, whether you're in the music business, whether you are just any type of entrepreneur, this is the type of city where you can come in and fulfill your dreams, because not everybody, but a lot of people here have the same mindset.
Yeah.
So what exactly brought you to Atlanta?
Honestly, the culture of the music.
Okay.
I knew that I was an artist. Excuse me. Try to get my cap right.
I know that's right. It looks dope though.
So honestly, the music, honestly, if I'm being completely honest, it's the music. I just knew that I needed a change and I needed to grow. And so when I decided to move back here, I actually flew to LA first, and then I was going to move out there, and then I just couldn't find the right place. So I ended up moving out here and, back out here.
Yeah.
I was already out here, but I already came from here. But, it's just one of those things where I had to decide, like, what I was really after was people that was going to understand me.
Absolutely. And that's hard to find sometimes.
For sure. So with this being such a cultural powerhouse, I just feel like a lot more people understand where I'm at and where I'm going, because they're kind of like, even if they're not in the world, they're close enough to the world.
There's a lot of like-minded people out here, a lot of entrepreneurs. People don't have time to hate out here because they're so busy focusing on building their business or, potentially supporting other people. That's what I love about this city, man. You know, and I moved out here back in 2013, and it was the best decision ever because I was able to leave my job and work full time and run my business full time. I wouldn't have been able to do that back home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I really realized that sometimes you gotta, not sometimes, probably most of the time, you gotta leave your city in order to put on for your city. And that's just what it is.
That's real. That's real.
So let's talk about your journey through music. Let's take it back though, before music, right? Yeah. When you was, I know you a young man now, but I'm talking about when you was little.
Yeah.
Before you started getting into music on a personal level, did you want to do something different? Did you aspire to be something different?
Honestly, I never knew what I was going to be. I just always knew that I was going to be something.
Yeah.
You know, something great, no matter what.
Right.
But honestly, I grew up listening to the main two people. I grew up listening to a lot of people, but the main two people was T.I. and Wayne.
Okay,
so,
two of the greatest ever.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So they kind of like, it's weird. But you know how, like, you know, songs raise you and certain lyrics of different songs raise you and just help you groom. And there's a lot of gems that I picked up from them. One, you know, T.I.'s boldness, you know, even in his rhymes and his demand of his respect, you know, really stuck out for me.
Yeah.
But also with Wayne, his desire to be the absolute best at what he did, you know, really inspired me as well. So those are the things that kind of really grew me. But it was just one day that I went to the studio with a homie, and he like, yo, you want to hop on a mic? And I was like, sure. And I did it one time, and then from that point forward, I went home. I just thought I was going to be successful the next day.
Nah,
you know,
for
I thought
real.
it was, you know how when you got those dreams and you feel and you just do a little bit of it at first, and it just takes you there like, oh, this is going to happen tomorrow.
No, absolutely. And that's what we want as humans. We want instant gratification.
Yeah.
We want to go to the gym one time and be super fit. We want to make one song and we're a superstar.
Yeah.
You know, I want to do one interview and I'm like at the, you know, like we want that instant gratification. That's a part of being a human, right?
Right.
But we have to trust the process.
Yeah.
When God says move, you have to move. And he's going to put you and align you in the right positions. And everybody's timing's different. You have to throw stuff into the universe, right?
Yeah.
You have to claim it and speak on it. You know, it's called the law of attraction.
Right.
You know, you have to say whatever it is you want to do. Say you want to be a Billboard charting, Grammy nominated winning artist. You got to say, I am this. Speak those positive affirmations into your life every day.
Yeah.
Because if you don't throw it out there in the universe, it's not going to happen.
Right.
And that's just big facts. You have to throw it out there as if it's already existing.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
For sure. Yeah, no, I love that. I actually, so I do this like this Sunday inspiration on Sundays, like as a live streamer. And we actually was just talking about how it was important to like write it down.
Yeah.
And it's like writing it down is like the fetus of it actually existing.
Period.
It's like as soon as you write it down, it's like it's real in its first form, and that's on paper.
You have to have that. Like, you know, we even at the house, we got a whiteboard that we write stuff on, you know, stuff that we want to make sure we get done by a certain date.
Yeah.
We write it down and put the date on there because it's like, yeah, you can put it on your phone or you can have it in your head, but you want to have it somewhere where every time you walk in that room, you see it every day, multiple times a day.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because again, you're bringing stuff to fruition. You have to see it in order to achieve it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so I like that you do in your Sunday motivation as well, because guess what? You're helping other people.
Yeah, for sure. And that's like the weird thing, right? Because it's like on one side of me, it's like I do have this, you know, there's like the minister side of me, you know, but there's also the hip hop side of me, you know, and a lot of people find it hard to blur those lines. But I'm going to tell you, my goal is to help every single individual experience God where they are.
Absolutely.
You know, like where they are, not feeling like that they have to change or become something different or get out of their boat to allow him to get in his. But, you know, even within that said, like I am very, you know, and I say God gave me hip hop because I feel like it was a gift for me.
Absolutely.
My life is a gift for me, you know, not just the music, you know, but my life, the culture, everything of it all together. And I celebrate that side of me as well. And I feel like that, you know, some people can take offense to language, but other people to words, but it's somebody else's language.
Absolutely.
You know? And hip hop has a language, you know, and
it
deserves
is.
to be respected as other languages are respected, because even though it's something that would be normally negative, it doesn't mean that we're using it negatively. And sometimes we are using it negatively for positive reasons. But nevertheless, you got to look to try to understand it more instead of just judging it by, your outside perspective.
Absolutely, because it gives you a platform and a voice.
Yeah.
You can be a voice for a lot of other people. Some of the things that you can talk about within your music, other people may experience it, but they don't know how to talk about it. And that's where mental health comes into place. People a lot tend to hold stuff in because they're either embarrassed, ashamed, or they just don't know simply how to approach somebody with it. So they hold it in. And then that's when they start, having mental issues or become depressed. Yeah. So by you talking about stuff that you go through in your life, probably within your music, it's going to let other people know it's okay. Yeah. We're human.
Yeah, for sure.
We all go through the same stuff.
For sure.
Period. Just some people don't want to talk about it.
For sure.
But that comes with maturity and growth, right?
For sure.
Like the older I get, the more I'm comfortable with sharing my journey with people because I hope that it helps somebody. Yeah. So with that being said, you said some of your inspirations were, like you mentioned T.I. and Wayne, some of the greatest ever to do it. You're going to be that person.
Yeah. People
are going to be talking about you later on down the road, saying you were their inspiration.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
You know what I'm saying?
I receive that. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, most definitely. So with that being said, this business is tough. It takes a lot of work. So you have to be a worker. You know what I'm saying? You have to stay motivated. It costs money. It's a lot. This business takes a lot. With that being, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got to spend money to make money,
right, sure.
What's keeping you pushing through all that?
Honestly, to sum my goal up, just with everything, it's to have a TD Jakes impact.
Okay. Which is powerful.
On a Drake stage.
I like that.
That's ultimately what it is. I just feel like you said something like, hip hop gives us a voice.
Right.
And that's the reason why it exists is because, the ones who had voices that fit into this category was deemed wrong or outlawed, so therefore they didn't have a place to have a voice.
Right.
So it's like that's what makes hip hop even that much more important because it does give us a voice. But my goal is to help everyone know that what they have matters, and what they have, they can activate with the right information. And the right information comes from God. Mm-hmm. But I just want them to know that, like, his love is for everybody. And I don't mean that just in a general sense. Listen, we all get hurt. We all have things. All of these things come with life, right? So we can't, try to be like pick and choose what shouldn't be in life or what should be. We just gotta try to understand what it is. But ultimately, I'm just sharing that I just don't want anyone to be robbed of the love of God because of the way that they learn from someone else. Right, absolutely. You have to make that decision for yourself. For sure. Because the way we are brought up, maybe what our parents or our grandparents instilled in us isn't necessarily our path. For sure. And that comes again with maturity and growth and getting older and making your own decisions. For sure. Because I'm a big believer that we have to have everything within our life lined up, and nothing's perfect again because we're human. Yeah. But mentally, physically, financially, and spiritually, we have to be right with all of those things, because if we're not, then we can't be right for anybody else. Yeah, I agree. 100%. And that's really my goal. Like my goal, because at the end of the day, never mind the teachings of this and that, not saying that the teachings aren't important, but at the end of the day, the bottom line is the love. Make sure that I just want to help people have a better chance at understanding that they're loved and that they're already worth it and that they're already powerful and they are the answers to many of their prayers. Right. God made them because he knew that those answers was going to exist. I mean, those questions was going to exist. And I just want to empower people in that way, but do it on a stage, do it on stage as big as Drake's, Listen, I know that's right. And you know what's so dope about your journey is that your passion leads to your purpose in life. Your passion, you love music, right? Yeah, for sure. But it's leading you to what your purpose, what God intended for you in life. 100%.
a lot of people don't have that aligned.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like yours is totally aligned.
Yeah.
You know, like that's so dope. I don't know if you ever thought about that, but you know, your passion is leading to your purpose, and that's to help other people and you know, motivate other people.
Yeah, and you know, even I want to add to that, the beauty in that also is too, is that like for anyone else to know as well, even if they're not right where I am, or even if you're going to be further than where I am, like it's still going to be tough. It's still going to be hard. Like it's still like, it's just going to be hard on a different level. It's just going to be tough on a different level. So it's just, you know, just never think that because it's a higher level, it's less tough. It's just a different kind of tough.
It probably gets tougher because now when you reach a certain level, whether it's through fame, finances, etc., more people are going to be coming at you. More people are going to be trying to get at you. More people are going to try to dive into your lifestyle, and you got to, like, you know, separate that, because not everybody's meant to come along on your journey. So you're absolutely right. No matter where you're at in life, we're going to go through trials and tribulations, and we're going to go through struggles. Can we speak on that for just a minute? So within this music business, there's a lot to learn. A lot to learn as far as getting your business together. You have to learn how to properly market yourself, etc. What would you say through your journey has been the biggest like obstacle or struggle that you had to overcome, if you don't mind sharing?
Throughout the journey, I think so. I think the biggest thing was me feeling like I told you, I grew up and I seen Wayne, right? So I used to look at it and like, oh, all right, well, if I just had somebody that believed in me, like Birdman or whoever believed in him, whichever one of them believed in him, Wayne, like I know that I'll be boom, boom, boom. If I just had like a mentor, because I didn't have like a male figure in my life at all.
Understood.
So it was just like if I had a mentor, whatever, yada, yada, I would just be. So at first I thought that like I was that, you know, but then I started to realize, you know, after meeting different people and things of that nature and growing in it in myself, is that like, nah, like I don't need to look for that. Like I need to be that.
Yeah,
you know?
that's powerful.
So from that point forward, it shifts from me just being an artist, just going around like looking at where it's like, all right, where can I get signed, things of that nature, to more so building something solid that somebody else can stand on with me. You know, maybe not fully right now, but maybe in different minor ways right now, and maybe larger ways later. But definitely something that carries more people than just myself.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm looking forward to having a open door policy, you know, as an artist, as an influencer, as an entertainer, as an inspirer, as a mentor. And I say that because I just feel like that if you're successful, like there's no reason, like it should get, the more successful people that exist, it should be easier for the next person to be successful.
Absolutely.
You know,
you want to share your wisdom, and that's what it's all about, is, you know, stepping in a position to be able to help other people. I'm a believer. Everybody wants to be a boss. They don't want to be the worker, right?
For sure.
But in order to be a boss, you have to put other people in a position to also be a boss.
For sure.
You know, and that comes with everything that you've learned, your wisdom and stuff, sharing it with other people.
For sure.
At some point in time, it may be something they got to compensate you for. You know what I'm saying? Because you spend your whole life packing in all this knowledge and taking your time to learn. Maybe you go to school, which, you know, we're going to talk about that. You know, there's just things that you do. Okay, so at some point in time, you know, certain people you're going to share that wisdom with. But then if you got people that want to sit down and actually consult with you, that too could be a whole business move in itself right there.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely. Like there's so many things that you can do. With that being said, like I said, you're the first person that I've been interviewing for 12 years, you guys, for a very long time. He's the first one in the history of TampaMystic and Industry's Most Wanted history. Talk to us.
Yeah. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Tampa, I just made it to a higher level in self-development.
Yeah.
You know, I just made it to a higher level in self-development. This past 2 weeks have been more like pressing, really this past like 6 months, but really the 2 weeks has been just so emotionally and mentally pressing for me.
Yeah.
I feel like with me releasing my album, which I'll share with you more, me releasing that me releasing that demo, me moving, you know, the move back to Atlanta, but also as well, just me getting more involved with people around the industry and just being more connected and networking. It's just been emotionally a ton for me.
Of course.
It's been
yeah.
a lot. And it's been like, you know, this is the first time in my life that I got to a point of really doubting myself. And it wasn't even because of blessings wasn't happening. So I just want to make that clear, is that blessings can even be happening in your life and you can still doubt yourself.
Absolutely,
you know,
correct.
like blessings can even be happening and you can still have some kind of form of anxiety or,
Yes.
you know, anything along those lines.
Absolutely.
But for me, it was like I just couldn't shake it, you know, and I'm still like fighting through it, you know, but I'm making the decision, you know, not to, you know, listen or take orders from my emotions. So I'm just, you know, using my intentionality, my willpower and faith to kind of like push through it. But when it comes to this right here, like most recently, like I graduated from literally feeling like, okay, I need to connect with this person for me to make this happen.
Yeah.
Or me connecting with this person makes that happen. Or if I had this would make this happen. Or if I had that, I graduated from constantly just choosing to allow myself to self-doubt myself in the moments, to beat myself up. I graduated from allowing myself to feel like, oh, just because I feel anxious that, you know what I mean, I'm going to be paralyzed in this moment. I graduated from allowing myself to feel like emotionally, just because I don't feel like doing something, that mean I shouldn't do it or I should put it off. And then so I'm just saying this to say is that, like, what I learned is that even when I feel like that there's, you know, many things not happening in my life that I want to happen in my life and the time that I want it to happen in my life, I realized that at the end of the day, I can still become better.
Of course you can.
know,
And you have to celebrate that.
And that's why I'm here in the cap and gown today, because I graduated from all of that,
bro. Like,
you know, and I'm not quitting.
I love that. Like, I
quitting.
love that, and I think more people should
I'm not
adopt that.
quitting.
No, you can't. We can never quit because we don't ever fail until we quit.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? We might have low points. We all do. Or we may have times where we just need to step back for a second and reevaluate life like you did.
Yeah, for sure.
And you said, you know what? I'm not going to allow certain things to happen in my life anymore. You had to take control.
Yeah.
And when you did, you graduated from the old you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. So
introducing
that's
the
what
new
we're
you.
here for.
Yes. That's so dope. Like,
Yeah.
I love that. You know, you should be a motivational speaker. That might be a calling for you. Really, because the concept that you have adopted in your own life, and you came here and you have a cap and gown on because you graduated from a different chapter in your life, we'll say.
Yeah.
Man, that's powerful, bro, because a lot of people have egos and they will not admit to things like that.
Yeah.
I've been there. Not necessarily was it an ego, it was more of embarrassment or not wanting to share things because I was afraid of being judged.
Yeah.
I gave all that up, you know, like I probably in my 30s, I was saved. And from that point forward, I said, you know what? I'm doing everything unapologetically.
Yeah.
Because really at the end of the day, the people that we think are judging us or whatever, they're not even thinking about us at all.
For sure.
They don't care about what we got going on because they got own stuff going on in their life.
Yeah.
And once you realize that, you're like free.
Yeah.
You know, to live your life on your terms, because we only have one shot at this. We're only here one time.
I say that all the time.
You know, and then especially if you lose people close to you,
Yeah.
then it really gives you a sense of clarity on life. My mother passed away last year, and it was the hardest point in my life, anxiety-wise, but it also gave me a sense of clarity on life of, you know what, I'm not going to allow anything negative around me because we just never know when it's going to be our time.
Yeah.
It's already written.
Yeah.
You know.
For sure.
We just don't know.
For sure.
So you have to take the good in every situation
For sure.
and manifest on that.
For sure.
And you did that, bro. Give me some
Yeah,
love.
you know
Boom.
what I'm saying?
My
You know,
dog.
you
You
know,
feel that energy?
Come on. I'm going to give you a hug.
Yeah,
Come
give
on.
me a hug. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, I'm all about transferring good energy.
Yeah, for sure.
When I always do this right here, just hold it there for a second. We transferring energy. To me, it's almost like praying, right?
Yeah.
We transferring good, positive energy and vibes to each other. You feel that?
with that.
boom, it's like radiating.
Yeah, I'm with that.
You know, because a lot of people need that in their life. It's tough out here.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure. It's not easy.
God sent you to help other people. You really, man, I'm loving this right now because it's so powerful.
But here's the thing also as well. Like I believe that for me, but I also believe we was having a conversation on that Sunday. Inspiration was like I'm special, but I'm not unique.
Oh, right. Understood.
You know? And then so I say that, you know, and it's important for people to know that for themselves is because like, guess what? Whatever it is that you are on, or like that you appreciate about me, you know, is true about you too.
Absolutely correct.
You just have to believe it even when you don't feel like you believe it.
Right.
You know, you got to act on it even when you don't feel like you want to act on it. But it's for you too, you know? And that's why for me, it's like one thing is for sure, everyone, you know, mark this too, is that I'm going to make sure that I have an open door policy as I grow. I'll have someone, you know, and I don't know all the challenges and all that of being a high executive in the music industry or you know, anything like that. But one thing that I do know is that I've ran quite a few and been a part of quite a few nonprofit organizations.
Yeah.
And there's always a way to help.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, is that I'm going to make sure that I have a department for the people that are up and coming.
Yeah.
Just a department specifically for anybody, I don't care if you're a producer, whatever, looking for opportunity in some kind of way, a way for people to be vetted, you know, by these people, and not like, yes, you're good enough to work, yes, you're not, but regardless, being given resources of where you can go next and what you can do next.
Yes.
You know, because at the end of the day, many people say that like, oh, college shouldn't cost so much, or many people say that maybe it should possibly be free, or certain things should be taught in school that aren't taught in school.
Right.
But a lot of us are in positions that we haven't even made room for just the education department for people that want to learn what we do or want to grow in the areas that we want to grow in, a place that we can point them to resources, whether it's that we want to work with them or this radio station or this or that might be good in a department specifically for that. Man. And I say that because I just feel like if someone comes to me for any kind of help, and this is what I mean, if someone comes to me, and I hope everyone hearing this can hear me clearly, if someone comes to me for help, no matter what you are, how you are, whatever you are, there's something you have to leave with something. Even if you don't leave with what you originally asked or desired of me, I have to be able to give you something. Absolutely. Some kind of direction, wisdom, some kind of offer, some possible clarity, something. You have to leave with something real, you know, or what am I doing?
Or what are we doing?
What am I doing?
Period. Absolutely.
Or what am I doing?
Yes, that's big facts, man. And, you know, just the smallest thing, like offering a piece of wisdom could change someone's entire life.
For sure.
I had this conversation with my last interview that was here today, and we were talking about we have to be mindful of what we put out. We got to put things into the universe, good things.
Yeah.
But when we get ready to do something, we have to think about how will this move that I'm about to make affect the rest of my life? And that should be your decision whether or not you actually make that move.
For sure.
The guy who's desperate because he can't pay his bills and he wants to go out and rob somebody, right?
Yeah.
Man, stop and think about, if I rob this person and maybe kill them, how is that going to affect me and my immediate family for the rest of our lives? In a terrible way.
Yeah, and I actually want to speak to that too. So, you know, for anybody that might be listening that might feel like that you're down and out and you really down to your last, and it's like, yo, that's the only way you know how to get it, or you want to just get it in a way that, like, you know, such as robbery or something of that nature. I just want to encourage you, right? Just find another way.
Yeah, please.
And even if the other way means taking a little bit more time, even if the other way means that you got to lose something in the process of waiting for the other thing, because with you waiting for that other thing, you're going to be blessed by that other thing in a way larger measure than what you're even going after. So just to encourage you, you know, for anybody that out there that might hear it, is that's very important, because the wait will allow you to experience the blessing that's way greater, you know. So
absolutely correct. Yeah, you're right. And I think that comes with us becoming an adult, is that, you know, And some adults haven't adopted that yet either. They're more reactive rather than proactive.
Yeah.
We'll use the pandemic as an example. People who were proactive did okay through the pandemic because they were not necessarily prepared for COVID. They were just prepared for anything that may come their way.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? People who are reactive are the ones that were struggling because they don't react upon something until it's already happened.
For sure.
They didn't properly prepare themselves.
Yeah.
Some of them weren't necessarily prepared, but it brought the hustler out in them.
Yeah.
They figured out other ways to make money. They adopted, a lot of podcasts started popping up and other things started popping up. Let's talk real quickly about your Sundays. Where can people tune in for your motivation speaking that you do on Sunday?
So there's this platform. It's called the Meet Me app.
Okay.
You can find it through Meet Me app, POF, Plenty of Fish, and also Scout. And there's also another one. But the reason why I'm plugging this, a lot of people look at it as like a dating website.
Right.
But the truth of the matter is it has evolved beyond that.
Of course,
you know? And, their marketing of how much it has evolved might not have spread to the fullest yet.
Yeah.
But it is a gem. You know, that's where a lot of my supporters come from. And I want to shout them out because on the live streaming, you know, I have about 30,000 people who on there, we call them favorites, but they're like followers on there. And I think the biggest thing that helped out during this pandemic and doing this thing is when you're trapped in and you don't really have that many people that you interact with anymore because you're just closed in. And then we got to experience each other throughout that time and really rock out. You know, that's why I really got close with them. Because if you think about any documentary that anybody has, any artist or anybody has, it makes you feel like you know them that much more. And when you're doing live stream, it just takes it even that much more deeper. Obviously more vulnerable, but nevertheless.
No, absolutely. I totally agree, you know, and it comes with just evolving. 12 years ago, when I started doing interviews, I didn't do video. It was strictly audio.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I got to let people into my world a little bit more because they want to feel close to you. They want to feel like they know you, even if they've never met you before. So then I evolved into doing video. I even, during the pandemic, I started doing a lot of live stream interviews because people didn't want to, you know, come social distancing, which I totally understood.
Yeah.
So we started doing a lot of virtual stuff, whether it be streaming live on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
But I still do that to this day because, you know, some people, maybe they just can't make it here. So I'm like, you know what? I still want to provide an option for them to be on the platform. So we just have to use our creative minds and become innovative. There's so many different things that we can do out here. And it's not even just about helping ourselves. It's about helping other people because it's bigger than us.
For sure.
You know, way bigger than us.
Way bigger. It's definitely a bigger picture. And even speaking to that, it's a lot of times it's tough to have the energy to do it.
Right.
You know, and sometimes I just want to say that you have to do it anyway. Use your actions to trick your emotions.
Listen, honestly, like the days that I wake up, and I don't have it a lot, but it happens because we're human. I have certain days that I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to do anything today.
Yeah.
I don't want to do nothing today. Leave me alone. But I still always self-motivate to get to work. And I always feel so much better afterwards.
For sure.
You know, it's like going to the gym. Nobody wants to most people really don't want to go to the gym. But once you go and you do it, man, you feel so good afterwards. You know, you're energetic, you're full of life. Yeah. You know, that's me too, all day long. So, you know, and I think that's important that we have to learn to self-motivate. Yeah. It's nice when other people do it, but we can't depend on that.
For sure.
Because everybody has their own stuff going on.
Yeah. So and it doesn't hit the same either. It helps though. It hits how it's supposed to hit in the category that it hits, but there's another category that has to hit and it only can come from you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So anybody that's tuned in, listening in, no matter what they're doing in life, you know, what would be like a gem that you would like to drop on somebody right now? About just anything, whether it be music, life, you know, give us something.
Okay, let's start. Unconditional love is for everyone. Wisdom is for everyone. So that means that love, you can give it and receive it from any place that you choose to. And wisdom can be given and received from any place that you are willing to accept it. Therefore, if you are on the lookout for unconditional love, to be unconditional love and to be wisdom, you'll find more wisdom, and then you'll find more unconditional love. So be what you want to multiply. Be what you want to multiply. And that is harder than wanting what you want to multiply.
Man, that's powerful right there. And you're absolutely right. I think that the era that we are in, unconditional love is like rare.
Right.
People do stuff. And I posted something like this on my story, like maybe last week. And I said, I don't know exactly how I said it, but what I basically said was, if you out here lending your hand to help people, right? If I see you need help with something, and it may not even be financially, it could just be something.
Yeah.
I do it because I want to help you. Right. I don't do it because I expect you to do something for me in return.
Right, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's unconditional. I'm unconditionally showing you love.
Yeah.
Like,
I love you first.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing this because I'm like, well, what is he going to do for me later on? No, I don't get my blessings from no man. I get it from God.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So a lot of people have gotten away from that unconditional love.
Yes.
You know, so I'm so glad that you made mention of that, because sometimes it just takes a reminder. People got to step back and think, you know what? How am I living my life? I'm not right. I need to get right.
Yeah. And many times we feel like unconditional means uncontained.
Right.
You know, but it doesn't mean uncontained, because, you know, as the good book says, you know, above everything, guard your heart, you know, so you still have to use wisdom. So
right. And protect your energy too.
Yeah, for sure. So it doesn't mean like whore your love out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. It's not for everybody.
Right. But there is a measure for everybody. It just might not be the measure that you're giving. You know, you might be giving a more intimate measure than what you should give, when love is for everybody. So you being kind, you listening, you paying attention, you taking time, you know, because love is directly correlated to sacrifice. So if you're not even willing to sacrifice time to listen, time to hear, time to respond, time to understand, or anything beyond time, it's hard to say that you love something that you're not willing to sacrifice for. So I definitely want to take this moment and shout out my amazing fam base, FAM, you know, fam base, the Wild Things and Beyond. So shout out to them. They're so special to me, and they're so unique to me, and even to this world, because me, with my first public demo being released, which is Anthems, you know, my album Anthems.
He's got it around his neck, y'all, so you know it's real.
Yeah, it got it, you know, for sure, for sure. You know, we got the cap too.
Show them on there
Anthems.
too. They got to see it.
You know, Anthems.
You dig.
You know, but yeah, so I actually released that privately. So what I did was, and I'm giving, independent artists, I'm giving some sauce real quick.
Yeah, please do.
So what I did is I set up a PayPal account, you know, to receive the payment for it. And then it was distributed digitally through a private link to them on a private player, MP3 player.
That's amazing.
You know, and, you know, I was challenged with this. I challenged myself with this because, one, I believed in what I've already been giving out, the energy and the quality of the product that I've been giving out. Right. But to the people that I've been giving it to, and also as well, I believe in the people that supporting it too. So I believe that they value it as well. So
it's more personal that way too.
Yeah.
It really is. I like that concept. You know, you can put it on the digital platforms and that's cool. Yeah. But when you do it like that, it's almost like hand-to-hand distribution. Yeah. It takes it back to where it really all started from, because when people first started putting out demos and mixtapes, it was hand-to-hand distribution. It was way more personal. Yeah. Right? So by you doing something like that, where, you know, they shoot you a PayPal and then you send them, you know, the music or whatever, like, to me, that's that's so dope. For sure. And I think, so in the good platform to use, just for the artists to know, is Square. Square is a good, like, website for you to receive payments on, for if you would like to do something like this.
And I just want to give a shout out to the platform that I used as well.
Absolutely. Please drop all them gems.
Yeah,
they need
sure,
this.
For sure. One of the platforms that I actually used was BYTA.com. So y'all can go check that out, where y'all can release private things and things of that nature. And then there's other ones that you can search, but that's the one that I ended up using. But here's the cool thing. The cool thing is, I remember Nipsey, he did his $100 album.
I remember
mixtape.
when he did that as well.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm sure you even got to experience that, you know.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Long live Nip, man. Like, just a quick sidebar with that dude. My first one, going back 12 years ago when I first got on radio, my first involvement that got me some notoriety in the music business is I landed a mix show on DJ Clue's Desert Storm Radio out of New York, which was big.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody knows Clue. He was like the mixtape god, and he's still on radio to this day.
Yeah.
So what I used to do is every time I would play a song, because I had a 2-hour show where I did like a mix show. Back then, Twitter was heavy. Instagram wasn't even in existence at that time, right? Neither was TikTok or none of the other ones. Twitter was Twitter and Facebook, right? So every time I played a song on my show, I would tweet out, I'm live on Desert Storm Radio. I'm now playing blah, blah, blah. Nip was one of my faves, so I used to play a lot of his music, so I would always tweet him. He ended up following me on Twitter, which was like a major deal for me, because I was like, oh, I love me some Nipsey Hussle, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And so I was so tapped in with him, and I remember when he did that, like, it was so genius because nobody else was doing that, where they were taking their mixtape and selling it in the manner he did. Like, you know how much money he made, like, just like that? Sometimes you gotta take that step out on faith.
For sure.
You know, like, you never know what's the worst that can happen. People don't buy into it. Okay, that's cool. But there's going to be people that will.
For sure. So, and shout out to him for even when he did that. And I think that was his second to last project.
Yes.
That he released too. So, right before his victory lap, which was phenomenal. So just people that, stepped out and did something big like that prior to, or even most recently with the Kanye thing with, his player. I think all of that just seeped in me. And I think that even if it wasn't in my forefront, it kind of like seeped in me. And it's like, well, I'm going to go for it.
Absolutely.
And then so even though this is my first like public demo and I have the niche, fam base that I have.
I like that too, fan base.
That, I believe in what we have. So I put the pre-order link up there, and we even set the goal for 100. So we set it at $100, and we set the goal for 100 within 20 days. And then we ended up doing like 100 plus within 20 days.
Man, look at God. That's a blessing right there.
It is. And I'm humbled by it. And, we celebrated because it's our history that we made at such a smaller place than the rest of the industry, but we made such a significant place in history because we accomplished that.
Listen, absolutely. And if you haven't already, things like that, you need to make sure that you're doing a press release behind it.
Yeah.
Anything that you would do that is an accomplishment, or you've set a goal and you accomplished that goal, the world needs to know about that, because that's motivational. You got to make sure you're doing a press release behind that and getting it out to the different platforms.
Yeah.
People need to know about that. That's how you document your journey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely, throwing that out there, because it's always good to have other people talking about you.
For sure.
Whether it's good or bad, preferably good.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? But so it's like when you do stuff like that, do a write-up. Throw it out there. You know what I'm saying? Let people know what you got going on, because that's a major accomplishment.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I actually, and I'm gonna actually connect with you on that press.
Yeah, I do all that, y'all. It was not a shameless plug, I promise you, but I just like to throw it out there because I think it's so important. People need to know your journey. Like you mentioned earlier about documentaries and stuff.
Yeah,
you think about a lot of the people that's one of my favorite one was The Art of Organized Noise. The whole Dungeon Family documentary. I don't know if you've seen that one or not.
I didn't. I need to. Let me see. I gotta make sure I put some notes on my phone.
It's called The Art of Organized Noise, and it's basically Rico Wade just talking about him and Sleepy Brown and a couple others, really talking about how it all started for them to get to where they're at right now. And In fact, one of my first interviews I ever did when I moved to Atlanta, I had the honor of interviewing Rico Wade, which is the founder of the Dungeon Family. That's, Outkast and Goody Mob and etc. And it was such a dope vibe.
Such great things.
Man, but them documentaries are important because it really shows people your journey, that it wasn't always up.
Yeah.
We had down times. We struggled in the beginning. We didn't just step outside one day and become famous. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
So having that type of documentation along your journey, whether it's written or visual, is so important, because people can go back 10 years from now and read an article about you and be like, yo, he was doing dope back then, but look at him now.
Yeah. 100%.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to document that kind of stuff.
100%. All right. Yeah. I want to, for sure. For sure. And what I also did, so we did 100 plus, like I mentioned.
Congrats on that too, bro. That's big.
Yeah, thank you. And it's our first demo, and it was the pre-release. So
That's
did
so
100
dope.
plus, and it wasn't even released.
That's so fire.
You know?
That means people really believe in you.
For sure. Yeah, and I'm humbled by them, and I value them a lot. And I told them too, I'm like, listen, the Beehive is pretty tough. The the Barbs and the Navy and everybody, people is pretty tough, but I know, just theoretically, they'll go to war about me for sure.
No, for real. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I value that about them. I also want to say that, with us doing that 100 within those 20 days, the pre-sales are tallied up with the first week sales, right? In certain counts. And that means that on the release day, whatever their pre-sales will be a collective of their first week, right? I say that to say...
That's really dope.
Yeah. So I say that to say is that when I released it, it was 100 plus sold by the day that it was actually released.
Look at that.
But because it's 10 times as much as an average album, which is somewhere around $10 normally.
Sure. On
average. That would really be 1,000 units for my first project in pre-sales, even on the first day of the release.
So what was this platform? You said Square is where you used to collect the
collect the payment. Yeah, I used Square to collect the payments, and then I used this app called BytaByta.com to send it out. But there's plenty of other platforms that you can use as well. So I'm still trying out different platforms, but.
Let me ask you this. Obviously you're working on an independent level. You're not signed to a major label, which is that's great. I think if an artist can stay independent and grind it out, that's the way to go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. With using a platform like that, for example, if you release your stuff through DistroKid or United Masters and your streams run up or your album sales go up, all that is counted towards you potentially getting a plaque, right?
For sure.
This platform that you're utilizing, do those sales count in that?
No. So they don't. And right now where I'm at, which is fine, because the biggest thing where I am right now in this moment is really just like this is, I'm not just an artist in myself. It's like I'm building this as a platform. I'm going out about it like this is my life.
Right.
So how I view it is that my music is a product.
Absolutely.
And then therefore it's like me allowing someone else to put a price on my product, is not all right. See, it's okay if it's done after I do it.
Right.
Just not before I do it.
No, for real.
You know what I mean? Like, you can do it after I do it, but not before I do it.
And it's great brand recognition as well, if not for nothing. You were innovative with the way that you distributed it.
For sure.
And that's what it's all about, is you have to be innovative. You have to, whatever somebody's doing, there's going to be a million other people doing it.
For sure.
But you can figure out the way to do it just slightly different.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To make you stand out.
Yeah.
So with that being said, there's a lot of other artists out here, right?
Yeah.
What differs you from all these other artists? Why would someone want to tune in and listen to you versus everybody else that's out there?
Because I want everyone to be successful. Because I want everyone to win. And because I want everyone to win, my goal is to be a blessing.
Yeah.
So through my music, through my actions, through my words, my goal is to be a blessing. My focus is to be a blessing.
Yeah.
So because that's my focus, because that's my goal, that is what I reap, and that's what those around me reap, because that's my focus.
Absolutely.
It's not happening by happenstance or when I feel like it or when I think about it. Like, that's my goal.
Yeah.
To be a blessing. So I think that's what, if there's anything that sets me sets me apart, and not as if I'm better, but as if what makes me is the fact that I look to be a blessing, and that's through wisdom, love, and actions.
In that unconditional love. But
Yeah.
like you said, not everybody can get it.
Inclusive love, inclusive love. You know, meaning that nobody is excluded of my love. Like for example, there was me growing up with my mom. Like when I got to a certain age, at different times, like, you know, sometimes y'all are right here, sometimes y'all are separated, things of that nature. And it's like the most important thing is to love people at the most effective distance as possible.
Right.
So if I can love you more effectively 3 feet than I can 1 feet from me, then I'm going to put you at 3 feet because I can love you more effectively. Closer doesn't always mean better.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And there's, you know, different levels of that, because the way you love one person may be different than how you love this person, but you love both of them.
For sure.
Depending on who that person is. You're not going to love your mom the same way you may love your wife. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. And I think that if you like, and even if you love somebody a lot, you know, it doesn't mean that they need to be at 1, because 1 doesn't mean that you love one. Being a foot away from you doesn't mean that you love them more. You know, it's just distance of effectiveness. Like, are we most effective here? Are we most effective here? Because you want to love people effectively.
Listen, that is so deep and so true, because I think that's what happens in a lot of relationships. For example, you know, you may be dating someone, or you may marry that person. One person is comfortable at that 3 feet.
Yeah.
The other person wants that 1 foot. And now it's like, it's kind of clashing. So maybe you need to be 2 feet. You got to figure out what works for both of you, because us as women, we're more nurturing than men are. That's just, we bear children. So we're more nurturing, right?
Yeah. I love y'all.
So the thing about women is we tend to want more time and more closeness than a man wants from us.
Yeah.
That's just human nature. Okay, so we have to find a balance somewhere in there. You know?
sure.
So maybe your comfort zone is 6 feet, mine might be 2, so we got to around 4 feet, you know, we compromise and we find what is our good balance and what's going to work from us.
I agree.
That's great advice right there, bro. I'm glad the way you broke that down, and that's a good analogy.
Yeah, for sure. I just try to, but that's the goal. The goal isn't that like I'm super smart or I'm just super willing.
Yeah.
I'm just super willing. And I think that's the thing is with me with music as well. It's like, I'm just willing. I'm willing to do the internal and spiritual and even mental and a lot of times even physical sacrifices as far as to become better as an individual.
Yeah.
To be able to share, give more answers, be more of an answer to more people.
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm doing it for. So I definitely look forward to the day that I'm on stage with 50,000 plus people and they're not all just excited and they're not all just filled with love just because of the music alone, but they're filled with love because of a realization that they're getting.
Absolutely.
You know, a feeling of love for a greater awareness of how much they're loved by God, you know, so that you can go off and do your dreams. Like whatever your dreams are, like God will continue to shape them and mold them and build them up.
Absolutely.
And you know, and as you go, like I know a lot of people are even sensitive about when you say the word Jesus and things of that nature, Jesus, or even if you talk about church or something like that. But if I have this thing, it's kind of funny, but I said like, yo, God, I don't care if you show me that you a turtle. If you show me like you gotta show you gotta show me, you know what I mean? Like not just, oh yeah, something happened, I think you're a turtle. But you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta really like something that where I know, like where it's just like if he decided to be a turtle today, like my willingness to embrace that is there.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, it might be taken out of context, but nevertheless, like that's how much my willingness is to learn from him. And doesn't mean that I always get my lessons right away or get them right, but I look to do it because I have a grandmother, I have sisters, I have nieces, I have friends, I have loved ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like woman of my life. Like it's like I want to be able to be like I want you to have a little bit more answers when you leave from the interaction with me than you did when you before it.
No, absolutely. Because otherwise, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
You know, like if you have a conversation with somebody and they take absolutely nothing from it,
Facts.
it's pointless.
Yeah.
You know, you want to instill wisdom, even if it's just something that big.
Yeah.
Something. If it's a 5-minute conversation in passing, try to drop something on them.
Drop something. Yeah, for sure.
Otherwise, it's, what are we doing?
What are we doing? Yeah, no, for sure. So we're actually on our way to 200. And also as well, like, you know, I think one of my greatest gifts is my ear. And then that's what enables me to rap or even speak how I speak because of what I hear, you know, and the way that I hear. And, you know, I'm the kind of person, but the kind of artist that I can hear a flow or hear somebody rap or something like that, and I can acquire that.
Right.
You know, I might not use it, but you know, I can acquire that, and maybe I might use it.
Yeah,
but, you know what I'm
and
saying?
put your own little twist on
and
it.
to put my own little twist on it. But either way, that's what makes me an unlimited artist. You know, I know that I'm unlimited already, and I just want to say for anybody out there believing in themselves for anything, especially artists, but for anything, I don't care what you are, what you're doing, like. Your people will support you. I might have put $100 on there, but here's the thing, is that somebody said to me, they was like, oh, so that's like $10 a song because there's 10 tracks on there, but there's 10 skits on there too. But it's like $10 a song. I'm like, dang, who talked me into doing $100? I should have did more. You know what I'm saying? $10 a song. You know what I mean? You know how much these things, you know, but on the real, like you never know how much you're worth until you overcharge.
You have to definitely know your worth, because I'm not an artist, but I understand how much it takes to make just one song.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we could break it down, but we'll just kind of be brief. Of course, the production.
Yep.
If you actually own that beat, or even if you lease it, that's money that you had to get that production, right?
Yes.
You know, stop getting free beats off of YouTube because you can't do nothing with it slick. You know what I'm saying? You got to lease it or buy it, have an exclusive right to it. Then you got to get some artwork done.
For sure.
Then you got to put some marketing and promo behind it.
For sure.
If you don't have your own studio, you got to go pay for studio time. Then you got to pay an engineer to mix and master it.
For sure.
One song could cost you $2,000-$3,000 when it's all, and you shoot a video for it.
For sure.
So
For sure.
one song could really cost you $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 depending on what level that you're putting into it.
Right.
Or more.
Right.
Or more. It could cost you into the tens of thousands if you're really putting a big, huge campaign behind that one song.
For sure.
Let alone 10.
For sure. And there are some, you know, there are plenty of ways that you can do it at many different levels, even for almost, you know, free if you know how to do a lot of the things by yourself. And if you're a minimalist with certain things. But as you try to, you know, polish what you have and do it at a higher caliber, you get other people involved that are good at their craft and their areas.
Absolutely.
And that adds up.
It definitely does. Like you said, you know, if you have your own little setup at your house and you know how to record yourself, okay, that cuts out the studio.
Yes.
Maybe you've dabbled into graphics a little bit and you make your own cover. Okay, that eliminates the graphic designer. You learn how to engineer, so you mix your own records. So you could do it at a minimal, but it comes to a point in time where you're going to be so busy focusing on everything you got going on, you're going to need to outsource some of that stuff to other people.
For sure. Your mind's not going to be able to take all of it, even though that you want to, and take life as well. Your mind's not going to be able to take all of it, you know. But there is, you know, use what you have, because what you have is what you need. You know, make sure you don't negate what you have because of what you don't have or because of what you want. But also as well, it really doesn't. It doesn't matter what you think that other people think about you. It matters what you think about you.
Yes.
And
because really they're not thinking about you. Slick.
Yeah, really, honestly. I
don't sit around thinking about what other people are doing.
And I'm gonna be honest, I don't either. And you'll be how surprised how many other people don't. But there are some people that do.
There's some.
You know, but they're not enough to take the focus.
Yeah, it don't count.
Because there's so many more people that's not, you know, looking to tear you down. Even if the internet make it seem that way. But I only say that to say is that, like, just value what you do. You know, value what you do. Get courageous with what you do, because if you're courageous enough to create it, and you're courageous enough to put it in a place where you want to deliver it to the world, and you're happy about delivering it to the world, then be happy about whatever number that you put with it out in there in the world.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's not to say that you can't adjust it later or things of that
course.
or whatever, but like go full out so that you can have the full experience in what you're looking to build, because many people are looking to build things for themselves now. And go full out, you know. And I'm just talking to myself, because at the end of the day, it still doesn't make it easier. There's no path that just wipes away all the crazy emotions that you feel. But look, I'm up here right now with Tampa feeling all the crazy emotions from the pressures of life, you know.
Yes.
And I'm still here to perform, you know. And so I have this thing where I say, just keep moving. In this season, just keep moving.
You got to.
You know, just don't sit down and waddle in anything. Just keep moving.
That's
On
right.
to the next task. Don't sit down and waddle in anything. Just keep moving, and you'll get there.
No, that's big facts. And stop making excuses.
Yeah.
Rather than making an excuse why you're not going to do something, dissect it and figure out why you should be doing it.
Or stop accepting excuses.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like, you know, it could be a real scenario that happened that got in the way.
Right.
That was a curveball, was a surprise, you know, but you accepted that to not get done what you wanted to get done.
Rather than figuring it out and
Exactly.
figuring out a way to make it happen.
Right.
And it might not happen right then and there. You might stall it out a little bit, but that's okay. You still figured it out and you pushed forward with it.
Yeah.
So the project is still on pre-order?
Well, now you can just order it. You know, people have start receiving theirs. We begin releasing it, I believe, the 23rd.
Okay.
So people have been rocking with it, and a lot of people have, you know, shared their feedback. The dope thing is, so I want to actually show you.
Yeah.
Every single person that purchased it, I posted them on my Instagram, a picture and their number that they posted.
That is amazing.
Every single person that purchased my album, they are posted on my Instagram with their number.
Wow,
so
look at that.
you can
Nobody
go to-
else is doing that either.
You know, and it's important, like,
You want to show love to those people.
yeah, for sure. And I'm here to make a platform. Like anybody that wants to be I want to create something that anybody that wants to be included and is capable and willing of being included,
absolutely,
will be included, you know. And what I mean by capable and willing, just like, you know, like you actually want to be a part of the building of it and not the tearing it down or just receiving, you know, kind of thing. But I still got love for y'all too, so I got something for y'all too, you know, just love from a distance, you know what I mean? But I still, you know, but I still have something for everybody, you know. You know what I'm saying? I still got something for everybody, though, you know, so no one will be turned away empty-handed, you know, and I promise, you know.
No, that's facts. And that's the way you have to approach it in life is, you know, you don't want to ever feel like you got to push anybody away. You know, you're going to make space for them. Yeah. It's just going to be at a different capacity than it is certain other people.
For sure.
You know, most definitely.
For sure.
Before we get into the closure of this and we're going to do the shout outs and all that stuff, you know, I really want you just to take, you know, a minute or two, look at the camera, and anybody that's a part of your fam base, what do you want to say to them?
Yo, y'all partially in a room with me right now, but I just want to let y'all know that I appreciate y'all. You know, I appreciate y'all because there's not too many people that are able to muster up the courage to go after something big.
Yeah.
And the fact that y'all support me through it all, you know, is a feeling that leaves me lost for words. But I want y'all to know that I appreciate y'all and I value y'all more than I can ever explain. And the beautiful thing about even the way that y'all support me is that y'all don't only support me in, you know, as far as, you know, supporting me financially or with your actions or with your words, but you also support me with your respect and your honor.
Yeah. And
I appreciate that honor for, you know, me keeping my life private, my personal life private, you know, but still having a personal relationship with you guys. Honoring the caliber of artist that I am, honoring whatever it is that God looks to do through me to get through me to people, and I just appreciate y'all on a level that I can never fully explain. But I look to me walking this path and this path of purpose as a way to say thank you. Me keeping going, me not quitting as a way to say thank you, no matter how crazy it feel, no matter how crazy it look. So yeah, that's what I want to say to them about that. And you know, I've met a couple different people, right? You know, since along on my journey.
Right.
So, you know, prior to me moving from Atlanta, before I just moved back, I actually met P from QC.
Okay.
I met him at a barbershop. you know, and I caught him right when he was walking out. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there chopping it up with him, and then, you know, he take a little second. I only got it on my phone because I wasn't expecting to see him. You know, you can't really hear it clearly. And he's like, word, you know, just hit my, you know, he sent me gave me some emails, you know, to just send it to or whatever. Another time out in Texas, I met with 50 Cent and at one of his little liquor meetups, you know, kind of thing. He was selling his liquor, and Branson, and I think that's how you say it, Branson, but or Bronson. But either way, it's good, it's lit. We turned up with it on live a couple times. You know, I'm not a big drinker, but it was dope. And you know, we chopped it up. I did the same thing. I didn't, you know what I mean?
You have to shoot your shot.
You know, for sure. And then most recently, I met Boosie at, you know, the meet and greet, and then, you know, we ended up rocking out with him and his manager and chopping it up with his manager.
Yep.
And it's dope. And you know, me and Bow Wow recently just had a conversation at this event.
That's
we were
so
just
dope.
at, you know, him and his right hand. But and then, you know, I actually went to the TD Jakes conference in Charlotte, North Carolina. Had Denzel, had a couple of Van, a lot of people there. It was dope. And there I actually ran into Timberland. And it's crazy.
One of the greatest ever
to ever do it. And and you know, what I would like to say is I value each and every experience, right? And I value that one too. But the one thing about Timberlands that I want to say is that, like, you know, when he seen me, obviously the place that we seen each other at, you know, I'm sure it played a huge part as well. But he really embraced me.
Yes.
Like, he embraced me like I'm like, I told him straight up, like, man, I'm stuck. You know, I've done this, done that, you know, but, you know, and he's like, yeah, that's just a part of the process. Here, boom, take my number.
Man.
You know?
He's such a humble dude. Him and Missy. Shout out to Missy Elliott.
Yeah,
like,
see, I haven't met her yet. Missy, holla at your boy.
Man, they are such a humble, like, duet. Like,
I was blown away. I was blown away.
But see, that's what keeps someone like him he continues to receive blessings this many years after his start is because he remains humble. You know, it's like it comes to a point where it's like you want to still be reachable, but not too reachable, if that makes sense.
For sure.
And he's found that balance.
For sure.
And that's what keeps people, even though he's
at least constantly working on it.
Absolutely. And you are from a different generation because you're, you know, much younger than he is. But because he's still staying relevant, it's people in your age bracket who still got respect for him and look at him as like an OG in this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's definitely a monster, and just him, like, it was his heart. His heart responded.
It's so genuine.
His heart responded. Like, that was just like all the people that I met, like everyone that I met was dope. But his heart responded.
Yeah.
But, you know, one thing that I do want to say as well is that no matter all the people that I met, you know, and shout out to Trina too, because I just linked with her as well, and my boy Slab from MMG. Shout out to Slab, because Slab actually, you know, I reached out to him for some wisdom, and Slab responded with me like, him and his people, him and his boy Maybach E. Slab responded back to me like, yo, I want to work with you, do a feature with you, you know?
Man.
So it's like, I got to shout those out, because like a lot of times those go under the radar, and, you know, there's a gazillion artists that always, you know, that everyone meets.
Absolutely.
So anytime somebody gives me an opportunity, even if I have to pay for the opportunity, but because they offer me a real opportunity, you know, I was willing to, you know, I'm willing to shout it out. It's just important, because there's so many people that you don't get that love from. But I just want to say, no matter out of all the people that I met, Tampa, like, I just want, like, I still got to work.
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
It's like there's not this, I mean, for some people it may be a part of their story, but it's still not the whole story of like this person just finding them, or just like, oh yeah, I just believe in you. You know, and with that being said, is that you got to make sure that you're that one person, no matter if nobody else is that one person.
Absolutely.
Even if you get another person that is that person, you got to make sure that you're that person. You know, so that
you're
you got
accountable for yourself.
Yes, and that you've been everything that you need. God is putting you to succeed.
Absolutely.
You know, you just got to continue to shape it and grow it and groom it through wisdom, personal development. Get better at your craft, and I just want to say, Tampa, I appreciate you having me, and you know, like, we made hip hop history, you know, and we not gonna slide past that, because it's something that me and my people we're very proud of.
Yeah,
you know, we're very proud
as you should be, because that was a major. Not only did you set yourself a goal that you reached, but you exceeded that.
For sure. For sure.
That's something to be extremely proud of.
And the only one to do it on record, you know, people like Nip and like Kanye and many other people that I can't name or that I don't name paved the way, you know, to even have this moment even possible to exist. But we just did 100 at 100 sales at $100, 100 plus sales at $100. With my first demo.
Man, that's amazing.
With my first demo.
You need to give yourself a plaque.
You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, if there's hip hop history, if there's a hip hop history Grammy, we won that this year.
Nah, for
real.
We
won that this year.
And you know what? You have to do that. You put a cap and gown on yourself.
Yeah.
Someone else didn't do that.
Yeah.
You did that for yourself because you achieved something in your life that you wanted to do.
Yeah.
So it's okay to congratulate ourselves or gift ourselves. It's okay to do that.
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day, most other people aren't going to really think about doing stuff like that. So it's okay to do it for ourselves. Get yourself a plaque, bro. For sure. Yeah. You know what? That's real. I'm gonna give myself a plaque. That right. You know, and yeah, I am for sure. And you know, we didn't talk too much about the music, but honestly, we did, because like what you get from me is like, is the spirit of what you're going to get from the music, right? And I'm a firm believer in this, is like, I'm going to talk my talk, right? I'm going to talk my talk in a record. So if you're looking like, well, it's like, well, it's not all the way the super clean things of that nature. That's because I am rapping about different parts of life. You're human.
Right?
Yeah, you're talking about life.
And life. And these things exist in life. So if you have a problem with these things existing, take it up with God and take it up with life. I'm just rapping about what's in life. You know, and if you don't like the category of it, then there's another song that's for you, because I'm diverse enough for you to have, for there to be something for everybody, right?
Got to.
But that's the thing, is that it needs to be something for everybody. Every song might not be for everybody, but the catalog has something for everybody. And it's like, someone said to me on TikTok when I said I'm selling my album for $100, right when I first released it, they said they was talking crazy in the comments. They were like, they was killing me in the comments. One person was like, "You gonna buy them all yourself?" Or another person, they said, "You don't have $100 worth of catalog."
What?
Right? Because on Spotify and on Apple Music and all those things, I have about like 9 songs there, and then on YouTube I have about 12, because I did like some remixes of things and things of that nature. But what they didn't know was the power behind what was there, though.
Absolutely.
That's
correct.
what they didn't know, was the power behind what was already there. Not that I felt like, oh, it's just enough or not. I wasn't even thinking like that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the spirit that I put into every song that I actually do, and the people that it reaches them in a specific way that they can appreciate it in a significant way.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I look to do with every single song. So when it comes to, okay, well, what's different about when I hear you is that when you hear me, you're not hearing anybody else. And it's not because I'm not influenced by anybody else, but it's because I am influenced by God, and therefore I'm able to be and continue to become my best self. So you're going to hear me as I continue to grow as my best self on each song, and that's why you hear me. Man,
is Jordan the government?
Jordan for president? No, I'm just kidding. I don't want that. I'm just playing. I'm the only playing. I don't want that.
Is that part of the government?
You know, for sure. So for me, and I'm going to be completely honest, like, Jordan has always been the name that I identify by.
Okay.
So I never get into like, oh, what's your whole full name and things of that nature.
Of course.
The only reason, I'm not going to say only reason, but the main reason why I don't is because at the end of the day, if you say, hey, my name is Yellow, I'm going to call you Yellow.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Period.
Like I want to call you what feels like love to you.
Absolutely.
I want to call you what feels like confirmation and love to you.
Absolutely.
You know, and so therefore, like, I represent that. So that's why I always had a stance that I have with it.
I love that. Well, listen, we got 3 things we got to do before we get up out of here.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Okay, yeah.
The first thing we got to do, man, and I know we probably shared it along the way, but we're going to do it again for people that may have tapped in a little bit late. Where can they follow you on all your social platforms? Okay,
it's AyeJordan, AYEEE Jordan with 3 N's. So 3 E's, 3 N's. A with 3 E's and N with 3. Oh wait, with 3 E's and 3 N's. You know what I'm saying? AyeJordan.
There you go.
So AyeJordan,
AyeJordan.
with the extensions. So that's where you can find me on Instagram. That's where you can find me on TikTok, and it's the same thing even on YouTube. You can just use the artist name AyeJordan, AYE Jordan, one word. You can find me on there. Some of my favorite songs that's on the YouTube is Fitness, Gravedigger, Guess Who, Brand New. So those are a few of my favorites. And if you want to purchase my exclusive album and be a part of history with me and my amazing fan base, you can head to my Instagram, and the link is in my Instagram bio. Listen, I appreciate every brick in this mansion that I'm looking to build, and I want everyone to know that this is for us. And what I mean by us is anybody that is genuinely chasing after something. And guess what? Even the people that's not genuinely chasing after something, I have something for y'all too, and that's love, and that's wisdom, and that's guidance. If I can offer that to you, if I can't, maybe I look forward to another point in time in life that I'm able to offer you something of value. But yeah, that's where you can find me on those platforms.
Second thing we got to do is, it's always important to show love to the people who show love to you, your fan base or your family, friends. Who do you want to shout out to? Yeah.
Listen, I just want to shout out to my core support team. My personal support team, my in-house support team. I genuinely couldn't do it without you. I want to shout out to obviously all levels of it. Definitely 100%. My home, my core. Let me see. What's the thing? What I should say? My my family, the wild things, like my family support base, my blood family, obviously my mom, my sister, all of that. I mean, I love them just for existing.
Absolutely.
Anyway. So, no matter what. But I want to shout out to the Meet Me app platform too. POF, Scout. Listen, y'all are far from perfect. Y'all that application is far from perfect. And with the right people that are a part of the culture of it, if you got more of us involved, then I'm definitely open to a position. Holla at your boy. But on a serious note, it can be even better. But I want to congratulate you all what you have accomplished correctly, because many people like to talk about the things that we just do wrong.
Correct.
And what you have done was create a platform that a lot of us have found support, love, fam, and had to grow at a hyper rate than what we normally would have grown had we not been on a live platform interacting with live people 24/7. So shout out to y'all and y'all for helping me find such great, amazing people. I look forward to us taking care of each other in the future for sure. And I definitely shout out to all the people behind the scenes that do things behind the scenes, that supports me behind the scenes, that nobody knows. Just know that love does not go just mixed in with everything else, but it's special and it stands out.
Absolutely. Last but not least, this is the most important question of the whole conversation. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So we are live and direct on the industry's most wanted podcast with your girl Tampa. Yep. I got AyeJordan in the building. Hey. My last question to you: what makes you the industry's most wanted?
I'm not available anywhere else. A huge motivation as to who I am and what I do and why I do what I do is because I didn't have, and I don't have someone that did it or that's doing it for me.
Yeah.
So I'm doing it for you, and that's why I will hope that's why you will want me, because I want you. And not just in a way of what I can receive from you, but primarily in a way of what I can give you. So I appreciate y'all. And Tampa, I appreciate you. And I've been watching you do your thing, watch you evolve. And, I really appreciate this interview. Definitely my favorite one of all.
Man, it's been so much fun.
I'm going to be real. Yeah. So I appreciate that. And, I hope, our conversation spoke for my spirit of just even of the music, because I did say I learned from Wayne and T.I. So, T.I. had his altercation raps that he had, and his controversy, I should say.
Absolutely.
Controversy. And then Wayne, had his colorful lyrics, and but there were so many gems that was in the midst of that art.
Absolutely.
And that's what I look to do with my music. So when people say, well, how can you mix both of such of your your spirit and your spirit that, you know, God has flown through you, and your art and who you are as a person and as a man and of the culture. It's because of that reason. It's because of I had some great examples of how to put those methods together for my own use.
Absolutely. Man, and there you have it. Shout out to everybody that tuned in over here.
Shout out to everybody on the live stream, you know. Much love to each and every one of y'all. Shout out to Queen Vibes. You know, she's a super chef out here in Atlanta. So tap in with Queen Vibes. Yes, I wish I can get y'all. Listen, come to my Instagram, AyeJordan, AyeJordan, for my Instagram, so that y'all can tap in with Queen Vibes. And also as well, Jess the Artist, she got her second book out. You know, something special about reading books. One thing that T.D. Jake said was, if you don't read, you can't lead. So that means even audiobooks, you know. So I'm trying to get better with the audiobooks. Yes. I can't sit down. It's hard for me to sit down.
Me too. I listen to stuff when I'm driving a lot of times, you know, rather than, because it's hard for us to carve out time to sit down and read.
Yeah.
But we all got to drive somewhere. So rather than put music on, listen to them audiobooks. Yeah. Something motivational.
Yeah. I agree. 100%. 100%. And it's funny. I'm just going to mention this because obviously it's a hot topic right now. But, I just want to share a perspective with that Will and Chris Rock situation.
Oh yeah, please.
So, what's yours? I should say I wanted to learn from
you. Know, I'm going to be honest with you. I because I wasn't there, but I seen video. Mm-hmm. I kind of see it from both sides. I understand that Will wanted to protect his queen. Yeah. You know, Chris didn't know that she had a medical condition where she's losing her hair. Right. So it's like, I understand it from both sides. Chris Rock is a comedian. That's what he does. For sure. He talks about people, clowns on people, not in a harmful way. It's just, that's what he does. Yeah. So I don't think what he did was mean. He wasn't doing it to hurt her feelings. He's just being a comedian that he is. But because it did strike her in a way and hit an emotion with her, Will being her husband, he had to step up and say, you know what he said. Right. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
we all know what he said. Yeah.
So it's like, I kind of see it from both sides. I'm kind of on the fence with that because, you know, Chris Rock was just doing what Chris Rock does. He's a funny dude. Yeah. He makes people laugh. Yeah. She took it too personal. Yeah. Even though he wasn't trying to hurt her. Yeah. You know, so I don't know. I'm really on the fence with it. I kind of see it from both sides, to be honest, you know? Yeah,
I agree. I think the only bridge between both sides is that love. Yeah. You know, and it's like, one thing is for sure is that I definitely don't agree with it at all whatsoever. We all understand it, you know, at least those of us that's being honest understands it. But I don't agree with it at all. So even those that's like, you know, like, yeah, that's good. You get up there and you stand up. And it's like, nah, not at the cost of somebody else. There's an effective way for to be stood up for, you know, because he loves himself too. And you wouldn't want him to stand up like that against you. And many people feel like that's a silly example. But I only share that to say is that, you know, you love how you want to be loved. And you wouldn't want to be corrected that way either. You wouldn't want to be corrected. If you got something wrong, if you diss somebody, you wouldn't want to be corrected that way either.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, so I understand wanting that protector because obviously as women, that's what obviously you all love, you all need. That's what we're supposed to be, is this protector.
Could have handled it differently though.
For sure. And obviously on the other side though, it's like nobody's perfect. And just because he did have a big explosion like that, it doesn't mean that he needs to be labeled about that or talked about it forever or it to be drawn out. Like really, we watched it all and it does influence things and does influence us, but it's really him and Chris' business, you know, and him and the surrounding people. So, you know, like,
don't forget about all
I support both of them.
Yeah. Don't forget about all the amazing things that Will has done. Like, he's one of our favorites. You know what I'm saying? So he's human. We go through emotions like that, especially when it's someone that we love. Yeah, for sure. We will go to war about someone we love. For sure. You know, so he got caught up in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, don't bash him forever about it. You know what I'm saying? He made a public apology about it. For sure. You know, so it's like, could it have been handled differently? Yes. For sure. But we don't know what Will was going through in that moment mentally. For sure. So we can't condemn him. We can't criticize him. He handled it how he thought he needed to handle it at that moment. So, you know, definitely much love to all of them.
For sure. For sure. We love both of them. And it's not It's not gonna stay forever. You know, it's not a stain. Don't worry about it.
No, it's definitely not.
It's not
like,
a stain, bro. You know,
I don't look no differently at that man whatsoever.
for sure. And my bad, Chris. You know, I hate that happened to you, bro.
No,
but I
for
know,
real.
I know if you know, I know you good though. You know, I believe you good. I hope you good. I mean, I'm sure you done made it through worse than just that. So
Yeah, he ain't not no teeth out. So
yeah, for sure. But I do hate that happened. That level of like, that's just like, who want
No, listen, I told it goes back to what I was saying earlier. We have to think about our actions before we do them because it could potentially affect us for the rest of our life.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you caught in that quick second moment,
we all get caught in it.
because he didn't know that was going to happen.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't premeditated.
On top of what he was already dealing with.
Exactly. So it's like you can't really like criticize him for that because he had no idea that was going to happen.
For sure.
It was not premeditated.
For
so
sure.
he just reacted quickly.
For sure.
But there are some things in life that are premeditated that we can sit back and say, you know what, maybe that's not the best thing for me to do.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
Man, it's been such a pleasure. Give me some love again. Boom.
Come on. I feel it.
Shout out to you. Hey, I hope y'all feel that energy.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to all of them. It's a lot of album owners, you know, that's watching us live right now as well. So, and everybody to everyone that I met, and everything, I just want, you know, y'all to know that I appreciate every interaction that I have with y'all, you know, but I already got a story of the people that didn't hear me yet, you know, that I met, that didn't catch on yet, that even though I crossed paths with them, they didn't get it yet. And you know, I definitely have a lot I'm looking to offer this world, and not just because I want to be the God that do it. I just want to make sure that it exists.
Absolutely correct. We out of here, y'all.
You're